Okay.
All right, folks. WandaVision, episode 4. It's a banger, son. All right. Welcome back to WandaVisionaries. This is our weekly after show for WandaVision. We do this every week after the episode, kind of talking the episode, recapping, and of course, we're talking full spoilers. So if you haven't watched the episode, go back and go watch the episode, and come back and join us and talk. Leave in the comments, discuss, like the video if you like the video. Share with your friends if they want to talk some Wanda with their friends and such. So from the Gold Dirty Bastards podcast, Mr. Nip, how you doing, man?
I'm here. I'm awake. My usual. Man, I'm amped up off the episode. That was a good episode.
Oh yeah. Like as soon as I watched, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to talk about this. This is a lot of shit to talk about.
I had seen they had released a little trailer on IG. So I kind of expected something big this episode, and I mean it wasn't huge, but we got it was good to get a different glimpse, a different perspective on this shit.
Yeah, we got some answers, which was cool. And yeah, I didn't watch the clip. I kind of wanted to go in fresh, so I kind of avoided watching the clip. I wanted to go a little fresh. So yeah, man, great episode, man. I thought this was great. This is. Like if they should have released the first 4, I think right off the bat, I think people would have been this would have flowed a lot better. It would have felt like a movie, just these 4 episodes. But yeah, people were criticizing the first couple, and I understand. I had the same feelings. Like I like they were just spending too much time in the sitcom world. I wanted to see what was going on, so it's a slow burn. They knew what they were doing, so they got me hooked now. I'm totally down with this show now. It's a great episode, man. I think. What do you think? Best of the season so far?
Oh, no doubt. Just because you get introduced to more characters, you get to see the whole world. Definitely by far the best. And my wife, I got her to watch it. I kept her going on it, and she agrees. She was like hyped on it. She's like, "Oh yeah, this is way better. It's more like what we signed up for." Yeah. I think I get what they're trying to do, but I think they just did a little bit too much of it. They could have pared that down to like 1.5 episodes or even 1 episode and sprinkled in more of this stuff.
Yeah.
But it was definitely good it was good to see the outside world and like I said, some familiar faces in new roles with Darcy and Agent Wu.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, so yeah, let's jump into this episode, man. So a lot to break down, man. The last shit was going down this episode. So we cut to the blip. This starts off like a normal kind of MCU thing where we get nice cold open. They're coming for you.
Let's go.
You got a World War II biplane coming at you. fucking Red Baron's fucking coming.
Fucking Snoopy.
Snoopy's getting hyped. So we start off. We get see what happens beforehand. Right after the blip, the snap. Monica Rambeau wakes up in the hospital, and she's looking for her mom. Her mom, of course, was in Captain Marvel. That was set in the 90s. So that's where Monica first appeared. And so she's panicking, looking around, and it was cool to see this perspective of the blip, the snap. Like we saw Far From Home, it was kind of like the positive and like all of the happy things that when people came back. This is showing like, oh no, there's some there's some tragedy too, like when people came back. So, what'd you think of this cold open?
Yeah, it was. I was kind of confused at first. I was like, what is this? Is this like based off Wanda's stuff, or is this the blip? And then I was like, yeah, it has to be the blip. There's too many people disappearing, reappearing, and too many people reappearing. One thing I had a quick question. They had Photon under the mom's name.
That was her nickname in when she was a pilot. You know how pilots have like nicknames, like in Top Gun.
Oh, okay.
And Iceman. So that was her like nickname, Photon.
So a little bit of foreshadowing too, probably.
Yeah. I think that was in Captain Marvel. Yeah. So yeah, they kind of that was her nickname. So I guess when she becomes the comic book Photon, that's where she's gonna get her name. So it looks like it's leading up to that. But yeah, at first I thought it was going to be. I thought this was like after the fact. She was in the hospital after she got booted from from the Wandaverse. So yeah, but then it was like, oh shit, it's the fucking it's the after the snap. So okay, that makes sense. So yeah, it's so she's waking up in this new world. She finds out her mom died of she was in recovery from cancer, but still died 2 years later from the cancer coming back. So that was pretty sad, pretty tragic. She never got to say goodbye to her mom. And so she was part of Sword, the organization Sword, which her mom looks like she helped found. She was kind of like the Peggy Carter of the sword industry, Sword. And so they usually in the comics too, they usually deal with space. Now they're dealing with, it looks like, interdimensional stuff and like stuff on Earth too. So we get she's going back into the field. I guess there were reports of some missing persons in this town. And so we get to see Agent Woo. Agent Woo from Ant-Man. He shows up. I actually liked his character. I thought he was one of the better parts from Ant-Man too. I wasn't a big fan of Ant-Man. The movie as a whole, I thought was kind of meh
I
for
liked
sure.
both. I liked 1 and 2, and yeah, he
Yeah,
was funny on there. He was good
yeah,
comic relief on there.
yeah. He's a good actor. I like him when he shows up in things, man. He's pretty funny, and he definitely brings some nice levity. Did you get some like X-Files vibes from this episode? It felt very X-Files ish, man. Like
Yeah, definitely got that kind of vibe from it for sure.
yeah, I wonder if that's on purpose because they're pulling from a lot of TV shows and sitcoms and stuff. So, yeah, definitely got a vibe, X Files kind of vibe from this episode for sure. So we find out Westfield doesn't exist, or so these two cops say, yeah, there's no such thing as Westfield. Like they could be mind controlled, they could be their memory's been wiped of it. I'm not sure. But so what do you think of this, man? Jimmy Woo showing up and like the whole mystery of this town that doesn't exist but does exist.
Yeah, the whole scene with the cops was kind of weird. And they said Eastview. I wonder if like I don't know. I wonder if they're like some evil dudes or something. They seem kind of weird. They seem kind of off. The cops themselves.
Well, they are cops, so.
Yeah, it's weird. They fun those bastards. No, but they Eastview, like I don't know, it seemed kind of weird. Like they seemed off a little bit, the cops themselves.
Yeah,
But other than that, yeah, it was a cool scene. You get to see what Woo's seeing, get to see from Woo's view and Geraldine's view. So it was cool. I liked the breaking, pulling the veil off from
yeah,
the some of the mystery of this Westview thing.
yeah. This
Um,
is yeah for sure. Yeah, and it's yeah she enters the world, so we kind of know how she enters. She gets into there, and so basically when you enter that the Wandaverse, you get changed. So you get altered. You lose your memory. You get your clothes get altered. Everything. We saw the beekeeper again, and we kind of saw it from his perspective, like what he was just basically an agent trying to break in, and she. So basically, when you jump in there, you
the
get
helicopter
transformed.
too. That was pretty cool to see that get
Yeah,
transformed into. I mean, the drone transformed into the helicopter.
yeah, for sure. So we get introduced again to Kat Danning's character, Darcy Lewis from Thor movies. She shows up. She was in the first two Thors, not the third one, I believe, right? Yeah, she
Yeah,
shows
first
up.
two.
She's now a doctor. She's before I think she was a student, like a student intern in those first movies. So now she's a full fledged with astrophysicist or what the hell is she?
Astrophysicist, I believe
Yeah,
that's what she said. Yeah.
yeah. So she comes in and she kind of discovers the signal is basically a TV signal. So she asked to get some old school TVs, and they pick up the signal. And so basically, you see basically from their perspective what's going on in the Wandaverse. They're basically she's the one that was taking the notes in that first episode, and you kind of see everything from their side. What do you think of that setup, man? Like Darcy kind of discovering it's a TV signal and kind of like them kind of like watching what's going on. Like basically they're playing the role of the audience. Like what the questions we were asking, like the kind of like what the fuck things we were asking before, like they're now asking now themselves. So what do you think of that twist?
I like that. I thought that was a good little spin on it. It was clever, and it worked out. It was executed well,
Yeah,
and it gives her a purpose, and it makes her look, smarter than some of these. They have the brightest minds there, and here she comes, and she's already like kind of figuring out a lot more than them real quick. So I mean, it makes her gives her role some importance. It gives it like some levity, you know. So that was good.
Yeah, I like how they're taking these characters, these like kind of side characters from all these MCU movies, and kind of like bringing them together. Like, you got Monica Rambeau from Captain Marvel, you got Darcy from Thor, and you got Wu from Ant-Man. So all these like characters coming in. I actually really dug their chemistry. Darcy and Wu, I thought they were actually pretty good together, and they kind of played well off each other. So hopefully, I wouldn't mind seeing like a little spin-off, like the X-Files type spin-off show with them two, just kind of investigating all these like weird,
That'd be
dimensional.
dope. I
Yeah,
mean, that's a possibility.
yeah, I can
Uh,
see that happen.
so I had a question. When I think the dude asked what the military guy was asking her questions about, like, what is this, and she says it was cosmic radiation, right? So
Yeah,
immediately I'm thinking it's some kind of shit with Mephisto, because they're like, oh, it's been there since the beginning of time, Big Bang Theory. I'm like, okay, this is probably a cosmic being for sure,
yeah,
with the interference. Now later on in the episode, they contradict that a little bit by saying it's all Wanda. But I mean, I think we all know that they're trying to steer us that way, but somebody else is definitely pulling the strings behind the scene.
yeah. They're blaming Wanda. They're saying it's Wanda's fault, but definitely there's something amiss there. She's been definitely being manipulated, and definitely kind of somebody's pulling the strings for sure. There's definitely some shit going down. So they start discovering that the people in the town are actual people, and so they kind of put up a board of all their the people they kind of recognize and discover who they are. They have IDs, and of course, Agnes is the only one that doesn't have an ID on her. So it's
Yeah,
clear
I
that
caught that too.
yeah, she's definitely there's something definitely up
And
with
Dottie
her.
as well, right?
Dottie didn't have one either. Yeah, yeah, I believe you're right on that one. And so yeah, they kind of identify. So these are actual people that either that are from the town, and so basically they made them forget who these people are, who they actually are. And I thought I like the stuff with Vision in this. Like Vision is really the one that's kind of figuring shit out. And yeah, the stuff with Vision is there's something heartbreaking going to come with that shit, because you definitely saw at the end with the zombie,
Yeah, that
Vision.
was cool. That was a
Yeah,
that was like, whoa, shit came out of nowhere too.
yeah. So I don't know if she brought him back. Supposedly there was a cut scene in there was going to be an after credit scene at Endgame where Wanda goes and visits the body, and she unzips the body bag, and it's Vision's body. So she had access to the body. So maybe she's trying to resurrect him. And I saw somebody point out in one video too when they showed the map. So basically the whole enclosure is in hexagon. The whole area is in a hexagon. And somebody pointed out that it kind of looks like when Shuri was trying to reassemble Vision's brain. So maybe that's part of the thing. She's trying to reassemble Vision, and this is what came about.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's so yeah, we get a lot them trying to figure out what's going on. They're taking notes, and you get to see stuff from their perspective, what's going on in the first few episodes, which I thought was really cool to see. And they're asking the same questions we asked. Who's got the little board up, and he's asking the same questions: why the hexagonal shape? Why sitcoms? Why time and same time and space? Is Vision alive? So yeah, this is all like from they knew what they were doing. It's pretty clever what they did. They knew the audience was going to be like, what the fuck is going on, and like gonna have these like crazy questions and shit. What's going on? So I thought that was pretty clever what they've been doing with this show. I kind of wish we got to it a little quicker, but hey, we got to it, and now it's kind of running on full steam. So what do you think about that, man? Like kind of them from the side of the fans, and kind of like they're playing the role of fans in this.
Yeah, no, I liked it. It was cool. It's like you said, it's all the questions we've been asking. It's kind of the shit me and you have been doing, like piecing all these little things together and trying to trace it back like a crime scene or something. Yeah, it was dope. I liked it. This was definitely, like I said, the best episode by far. And it was just good to see Wu and Darcy were good. They worked well together, and this whole like crime scene investigation CSI shit was dope. I like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Now, if you just kind of like mix in between the worlds, I think it's going to be even better. Which is probably what they're going to be doing. You're probably
I
going to get
think
like half the show of half of each, pretty much. I think.
yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted to. Like, it's cool. We got the first couple episodes out of the way. We're going to go full sitcom with little hints of stuff. Now it's like, all right, we know what's going on now. Some shit's going down in there. The world's going to be more crumbling. I think we're going to get that '80s episode next with the costume with the original costume and stuff too. I think that's going to be the next one. Yeah, so we're definitely going to get to see more of the world kind of breaking down. So that scene at the end with Wanda, when you see you see what happens to Rambeau when she gets booted. That scene was great. I love the discussion
Yeah,
with Wanda and just Wanda's face where she just looks terrifying. Like she looks like fucking. She looks scary as fuck in that scene. So it's
yeah. That was
yeah,
that was done well too because we were all wondering like, oh, what did she do to her like exactly? And
yeah,
it was good to see her like using those powers, and you get the hints of the evil Wanda, and
yeah,
her losing her mind kind of,
yeah,
and just being this kind of like evil creature,
yeah,
evil being, because
yeah,
we know what's in her from our comic book knowledge.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's good
She's
to see it.
lost. Yeah,
First time we get to see it in the MCU, which was dope.
yeah. Yeah, you can see the emotion on her eyes. Like she was definitely dealing, dealing. She's definitely dealing with some shit. She went through a lot of shit. So, she lost her family, she lost her brother. She fell in love with this being, and he got destroyed, and she couldn't save him, and so she basically lost it, man. She's going through a lot of emotional. She's been through a lot of emotional damage right now, and so she's what does a person with these kind of powers do to get through their emotion? She creates a world around her. So, but definitely somebody's definitely a manipulator. I thought the shot was cool too when she booed. One of my favorite scenes in comic book movies when people get thrown through things. I love seeing that shot. It's a kind of a trope in a lot of comic books, but it was a cool shot. Her flying through the buildings and ending up in the world. She ends up in the world. We get to see basically a little bit more extra from what we saw last week. We get to she says it's Wanda. So yeah, I think that's they're kind of telegraphing it right there. I think it's Wanda, but she's being manipulated somehow for sure.
Yeah, and it was cool to see her, healing her universe back up, like
Yeah,
putting the bricks back together pretty easily. So, I mean, that gives more credence to the fact that it is her pulling all the strings here. But they're trying to sway our attention to her when
yeah,
we know the truth. There's
yeah,
definitely a being in the background
yeah, for
causing
sure.
this, manipulating her.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and so the question about why sitcoms, and I saw somebody post about this, like sitcoms, like maybe she in her country, that's what they had. They had access to only old sitcoms, so that's why she's kind of like using that has a like almost like a healing thing, just like that's all she had when she was a kid watching sitcoms. Yeah, maybe they got a run of those, so that's why she's using sitcoms as like a device to like go through this world. So I don't know. You have any theories on why she's using sitcoms to like kind of go through this?
No, I agree with that. That's what I was thinking from the beginning. It's like it was her coping mechanism after losing her parents back in the day. They probably watched a lot of TV,
Mm.
back in Sokovia in a little room or whatever. They watched a lot of TV, and that's how they got through, the emotional situation, her and
Yeah,
her brother.
yeah, that kind of makes sense. And then yeah, I love how the episode ends, man. You got a little voodoo child, man. Fucking got some Hogan.
Hogan came out, hit Wanda with the chair. God damn, every plane in the world is coming my direction today. What the fuck is going on?
They're coming for you. They heard you talking shit about the first one episode. That's right. They're coming for you. Those Marvel
Wanda,
fanboys are coming at you.
Wanda Jones. Fuck.
Oh man, but yeah, swords coming at you. So yeah, there's some like some spec happening. I heard the beekeeper. Some people are saying that the beekeeper might be Swarm from the comic. He's like a Spider-Man villain who basically was like a bunch of like bugs held together, and he can like control them and shit. I don't think so. I think it's just like out there span. They wouldn't like waste a big reveal on a villain. He's like not even like D level. He's like fucking Q level villain. So I'm not really seeing that a thing.
And you see that the universe, whatever it is, her realm, turns stuff into other things. Like the line that was supposed to be keeping him so they could pull him back turned into a jump rope.
Yeah, old school jump rope.
The
Yeah,
drone turned into a helicopter. So you see, it's just like
yeah.
it
She's warping
makes
reality to like
it warps it. Yeah. So
yeah,
I
virtual
don't
reality.
think it's that dude. I don't think
No, I
it's.
don't think so either. Yeah, I think that's just kind of I think that's kind of a reach right there. But
Oh,
I
what did
did
you
like
think of the director of Sword? He's kind of a prick.
Well, he's that standard like fucking he's like the standard guy in every of those like FBI, CIA kind of shows. He's a standard.
It,
I'm in
was he
charge.
in anything, or this is his first appearance in MCU altogether?
I don't remember him from anything now. Yeah,
I kind
he's
of
just
thought I
playing.
might have seen him in Shield, Agents of Shield, but I don't think so.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. He's just playing the standard like faceless, white guy director. I'm an asshole, fucking, but I'm gonna get shit done, kind of thing. Like yeah, he's just it's the common trope for these kind of shows. For anyone, well, those like those agents type shows. There's always that asshole director, dude. So yeah, it's kind of standard, dude. So as far as like speculation goes, man, so I heard some rumors about Wonder Man possibly showing up. He's probably going to be part of this. Wonder Man's brother was rumored to be in this, the Grim Reaper. So we're definitely gonna. We haven't seen too many bad guys come up yet. So I think we're definitely gonna. The villains are gonna come out hard in this episode, and next few episodes. I think we're gonna definitely see who the real threat is. Do you think we're gonna get a reveal of who the main guy is until the last episode, or are we going to get something like soon? Or are we going to get a reveal soon about who's pulling the strings?
I kind of think they're gonna just try to do another thing where they kind of trick us, and they throw out a villain, and we're gonna say, "Oh, that's the one," but it's gonna be somebody else even deeper behind. I think the ultimate burn is gonna be Mephisto,
Yeah.
but I think they'll throw somebody in there to distract us and trick us. Yeah, I did hear that the Grim Reaper is actually the symbol on Agatha's little whatever the hell it is. Her pendant, yeah. I heard that one of these guys was saying that the shadow is of the Grim Reaper, and I believe Wicked and Speed.
Yeah, that's the two boys.
Wicked and Speed, yeah.
Wicked and Speed, yeah. I think they're. Yeah, I'm reading Children's Crusade right now, Young Avengers, and it's kind of like dealing with them finding, trying to find Wanda. This is when they discovered that they're the basically the reincarnation of Wanda's kids. So they're definitely going to be a big part. Yeah, I think I think we're going to see them in next, probably as teenagers at some point. So yeah, they'll probably be kids, probably little kids in the 80s, like those cheesy little kids, like her sisters, like in Full House, just like those corny little kids. We'll see them be all cheesy and shit in the 80s, and then we'll probably see them grow up a little bit more in the 90s and 2000s and stuff. So yeah, it's man, it's a lot of speculation, man. I heard, somebody was talking about, we might see maybe if Agatha Harkness is in this. We might see some other witches that could set up other characters. Like maybe we'll see a flashback with Cynthia Von Doom. She has ties to Mephisto, and she's of course she was a witch, and of course she was Doctor Doom's mother. So that we could definitely see some setup for Doctor Doom in this. And they mentioned cosmic radiation. That's this is setting up a lot of shit in the MCU. This is definitely gonna we might get some setup for mutants. Do you
think Dottie is gonna be somebody? Is gonna be a witch? Because her and Agatha both have no real life persona.
Yeah,
as of yet, at least.
Dottie, yeah, she could definitely kind of play. Maybe she's somebody, connected to that. She could be definitely one.
And she had the blood, that was something. She got cut and she was bleeding red, and the helicopter thing, that was something where the drone turned red. That was when everything was still in black and white. So I don't know, kind of something there possibly.
Yeah, there's definitely something more to her for sure.
And Agatha said what? That she controls everything in the town or whatever? Isn't that what she said in the first episode?
So, yeah.
Or second episode? I think it was second episode.
Yeah, she's like the head. Yeah, she's the head boss. So maybe
any guesses as who she could be?
That's Mephisto. Maybe that's Mephisto's.
That's one rumor I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be Mephisto. It could be another witch. It could be. I'm trying to think of who the other big time witches, big time power magic user. Oh, Morgan. She could be Morgan Le Fay. Morgan Le Fay is a big witch in the Marvel universe, and she plays a big role in.
Is there anyone with direct ties to Agatha? As far as was Morgan, would she be that?
I think they've interacted a lot too. So if I had to guess, using my comic knowledge, I would say Morgan Le Fay. If they're gonna go deep with the mythic, those kind of Wiccan and kind of those witches and warlocks kind of vibe. So I could definitely see them going that route. That'd be interesting. I don't know. There's so many things they can go so many directions with this, man. I think they know what they're doing, and they're throwing little hints, and this is going to be like it said. We said like this phase of the MCU is going to be dealing with the multiverse and interdimensionals and time travel and shit. So this is definitely you can definitely throw a lot of shit in there, and kind of explain a lot. What's the next phase for this the MCU? But
I wonder if
definitely
there's something with her name because you have the Agatha thing, the Agnes. So I wonder if there's something with Dottie there
Dottie.
that nobody's kind of like figured out yet.
Let's put the two. Oh man, I don't know. Dottie. I don't know. It could be.
Lottie Dottie.
Or it could be like just something to throw us off the scent or something. But I think it has something. I think she does have some kind of role, some kind of big role. So either like Mephisto or another major character that's going to be revealed. Yeah, it's intriguing, man. They got me hooked, man. I'm hooked now, man. I can't wait for the next episode. I'm definitely on board with this.
Yeah. So next episode, you feel like we'll go back into the sitcom for a full episode, pretty much.
I'm hoping it's balanced now. I hope it's like you get kind of cut back and forth like from the real world. Now that we have now we know what's going on. We know it's Wanda manipulating shit. Now we know that it's Sword kind of viewing in and they're watching it like a show. So now we know what the rules are and where's everyone's placing it. So now I want to see kind of back and forth. If something happens in the sitcom world, I want to see what's going on in the real world. I kind of want to balance. I want to see
The Force.
Yeah. I understand why they did it now. I understand why they did it for the first couple, kind of throw people off and kind of like throw these little things in here for fans. But now that we know what's going on, I don't want to see like a half hour, 25 minutes of a sitcom and then in 2 minutes of outside world. Do we like that's gonna get? I think that's gonna turn people off. I want to see I want to see what's going on now. Now we established what's going on. Well, let's see what's going on. I want to see more of Wu. I want to see more of Darcy. I want to see more of how they're dealing with the situation on the outside and trying to get in there and help Wanda or and try to stop what's going on and unravel more of the mystery for sure. So yeah, I definitely want to see a balance. I don't want to see a 25-minute sitcom and then 2 minutes of real world stuff. I think we're past that point. I think they kind of got that out of their system the first couple episodes. Now I think it's more this one was full outside world and like a little bit of sitcom. I think the next one will probably be a little bit more balanced, a little more like half and half, I think.
So it's 8 episodes, correct? 8 or 9? What was it?
9. Yeah, so we got 5 more left.
So we're only halfway there. Less than half.
Yeah,
a little bit less than halfway. So there's a lot of shit that's gonna happen for sure.
So, yeah, we still gotta go through the 80s. We still gotta go through the 90s, 2000s. And yeah, we still got to find. We still don't know who Agatha is. We know Agnes is, but we kind of all know it's Agatha Harkness. If it's not Agatha Harkness, it's gonna be like, all right, well, it better be somebody better than if you're gonna.
It's gonna be her. I got 95%. It's her.
Yeah, and it's pretty like people. It's got to be Mephisto at this point. Like if it's not Mephisto, like I heard Nightmare was like one of the early picks, but if it's not Mephisto, you better have somebody way better than Mephisto. Then like I don't know. Like I think Mephisto is the best fit. It makes sense for the character and the history of the character. So yeah, I think it's we're gonna see some big things coming up, man.
Somebody said Blackheart, but that would be dumb to bring in Blackheart without Mephisto because he's Mephisto's son. So I mean,
yeah, unless he's like trying to impress his father with all this. Mephisto's more like he's not mainstream, but comic book fans know him. Like comic book fan, he's not, but that would be the one to like bring into the mainstream, man. Like what bigger enemy than the devil himself? So
yeah, no doubt.
I think it just makes sense. I think it just makes sense for him to be Mephisto. If it's not Mephisto, it'd be kind of that's kind of lame way. Like like you did all this for that. That's it. So I don't know. But overall, what a great episode, man. Really, really fun. Like I'm really digging the show, man. Yeah, we had our criticism the first couple, and and people were like, oh, you can't just criticize. Yeah, you can. You can if you don't like something, you can speak up and say you don't like it. Like I didn't want to be stuck in that sitcom world. I thought it was just too much of the sitcom.
Yeah. I think they tried to stretch it too much. The pacing they could have put these 4 episodes into 2, basically.
Yeah, 2 or at least 3. Like you said, the first 2 episodes could have been 1 episode. They could have jumped from the 50s and 60s, and the second one go into the 70s, and have the big reveal. But they kind of want to stretch it out, and they wanted to play in that world, that sitcom world. I just thought they could spend a little bit too much time in that the sitcom world the first couple.
No doubt.
But
No doubt.
I like if they're gonna have a balance. Like I still love the sitcom stuff, but I just don't want it to be the whole thing, you know. So I like the balance they're having now. Like if they have a little bit of the sitcom world, a little bit of the real world, it's gonna be a fun show if that's the case, because you can definitely play around with with that stuff.
So we're both in agreement that it's definitely going somewhere dark, and it's going to end in a dark place, and that's going to lead into Doctor Strange too.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. We're gonna find Wanda. Maybe she gets captured and she gets sedated, or maybe she, moves, or maybe I wouldn't be surprised. Doctor Strange ends up in the last episode, like the last scene where he takes her, basically gonna take her under his wing and try to like help her like control her powers and kind of trying to help her get through this, and that'll lead into Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse Madness, which they've said already that Wanda's going to play a role in that. So I would maybe that she's going to be she's basically going to be taken under Doctor Strange's wing, and he's going to like mentor her and like teach her how to use her powers correctly and kind of fix her, kind of, I won't say fix her, but kind of, get her head straight, So I think that's my prediction for the last episode. I think we're gonna see Doctor Strange show up, and
No, I agree. I don't know if we'll see Strange, but we'll see like maybe we'll see the little portal way, and that'll be like the end of the season or something like that.
Yeah, like she's down, she's all fucked up. She's down, like she's like down her last. She's alone. She's by herself, and then portal opens up and Strange pops out or some shit. Yeah, I could see that happening.
Although with Mandalorian, we see that anything's possible with these Disney Plus shows.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked if Doctor Strange appeared. For
yeah,
sure.
and and it's all under one banner now too, so it's great. So you can have these guys show up in different movies and shit. I have a strong feeling that's how it's going to end. We're definitely going to set up Multiverse of Madness, and then maybe probably set up some stuff for Spider-Man 3 too, because that's going to be like pretty much the next step in this multiverse kind of trilogy. You got WandaVision, Spider-Man 3, and then the Multiverse of Madness. So I think that's going to be like a trilogy of films right there. That's going to kind of all connect in some way.
Yeah, and it's good to get different, different viewpoints of the Marvel MCU now, because a lot of people complain about everything's the same. Well, this is definitely something different.
Yeah.
So this is a good thing. On this episode, I'll give it a solid 8,
8
for sure.
Yeah, I would. I'd probably go maybe a half, 8.5. I really like this episode a lot, man. I really enjoyed the interactions. I love the callbacks, and I love them kind of going back and watching the show from basically like us doing watching the show and kind of asking the same questions. I love that it feels gratifying to be like it makes you it rewards you for being a fan. So which a lot of these MCU things kind of do, and like you've been paying attention this whole time. All right, here's a little nugget for you. So yeah, I dug it a lot, man. I really enjoyed it, and like I said a few weeks ago, I was like, once all this is out and we rewatch this thing, it's gonna flow a lot better. It's gonna all make sense, and this is definitely gonna be a show that you're gonna want to rewatch from the beginning, kind of see all the little things, the little hints, like kind of the hints that they brought in. We got a little chat here. Oh, Miss Sarah North, how you doing, Sarah? Love this episode. Woke up early to watch it. Yeah, it's a great episode, really good episode. I think if anybody like fell off and got turned off by those 2 episodes, go back in, tell your friend, hey, go back in. It's getting really good. It's very fun. It's very so it's fun. It's fun. I think it's they're heading in the right direction. I think it's got a lot of potential to be very cool. Some cool shit to do.
I stay up and watch them late. I don't like waiting till the morning.
Yeah, I kind of want to. I usually wait till like 12:01 and throw it on just right away, get it out of the way. Unless I'm like really tired, but I'm usually up at that time.
I'm a night owl anyway, so I'm always up. I'm usually up till 3 or 4 anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I kind of like the fact that something premieres like at midnight. It's kind of a cool thing to stay up for. Great episode. Can't wait to see more. And yeah, it's yeah. Okay, what else can you say, man? It's on track now. It's on track. I'm digging it.
Did you catch any Easter eggs? 'Cause I didn't really catch anything this time. Was there anything that you seen or heard or looked at online or anything?
No, I didn't really see too much. I didn't really. Yeah, they pretty much. This is just pretty much going through the first couple episodes. So it's yeah, I didn't really see too much, and like
I didn't see anything either. I couldn't catch anything.
Yeah, and I watched a couple of videos after the fact. They didn't really say anything too much. It's pretty much covering all the other shit they were talking about. So Not too much. Sarah, I should clarify. Early is like 10:30. Yeah, that's early. That's late. That's early in our lives, right?
I'm barely awake. You see, when I come on the show, I'm like looking like Vision in that last scene.
Just waking up. Yeah,
Me
I've
at
had those moments.
10:55.
Yeah. Man, that's a haunting vision right there. That, well, so to speak. Yeah, that was a cold shot right there, man. I just feel so bad for Vision, man. Like, oh man, I think there's gonna be some bad things happening for poor old Vision coming in. So, what do you think at the? You think at the end is Vision gonna end up being alive? Is he gonna
I think he's dead. I think that's what's gonna set her off. Is that somehow he's not going to be able to stay in this universe or whatever realm. I don't know what the hell you want to call it. And that's going to push her over the edge.
Yeah.
And lead to she's going to snap, and it's going to be called Multiverse of Madness for a reason, because she's going to go fucking mad, I think.
Yeah, maybe she gets trapped in the multiverse and she basically can't figure out reality, and that's why basically the plot. We're gonna have to like fix the multiverse, because the multiverse is all over the place right now. Yeah, so
you already see the hints that she's going crazy. So it's like that one. If that happens, if Vision somehow gets taken away from her again, it's gonna put her over the fucking edge.
Yeah, and she's snapped a few times in the comic. Yeah, she's turned on the Avengers a few times. She's killed a bunch of them a couple times, and like kind of like remade the world. She got rid of she changed the world at one point to the House of M. That was the House of M storyline, where basically she sets up Magneto as the ruler of Earth. The mutants are the dominant species. And after that series ended, she pretty much said no more mutants, and she wiped out most of the mutants except for like I think 200 of them or something like that. So she's definitely, she has some emotional issues. She has some baggage, so she's definitely gonna have to work through it. But,
so we're halfway through, and we haven't seen any kind of hints towards Magneto. Do you think he's going to appear? We had speculated earlier in the season, but I just wanted to see, now that we're about halfway, if you had any thoughts on that.
I think we're going to get maybe a mention, or maybe like there's a mystery. I think they're going to set up a mystery of who their parents are. I don't know if we'll get it right away, but I think we're going to have some kind of hint of like I said in the comic, they've kind of tried to retcon it, like that he's not their father, but I think they're going to go with that in this TV show. I think they're going to. It just sets up everything perfectly. That Magneto is, that's how you bring in Magneto. That's how you bring in some of the mutants. And
I like it better when they're his kids.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I liked it better. I don't like the retconning of making him. It's better just to have him. I mean, why not?
Yeah, it just makes sense, and it's a comic storyline like a lot of people know already, and then Marvel tries to retcon shit all the time, but yeah, people know like from the comics, like from the 80s, like, oh yeah, Magneto got revealed to be their parents, and it just makes sense for the show. I think we'll see a hint, like
I agree. Probably
maybe a mention like, oh, that those weren't her real parents, or when they talk about her parents. We didn't get a commercial this time, huh? We didn't get I guess
only the flashback one that we had already seen. I think it was the Hydra one, the Hydra Watch.
Yeah, and then so we didn't get I guess because we weren't really in the sitcom world for too long, so I guess we didn't have time for a commercial. But I think it's going to be revealed that those weren't her real parents, and her parents have some other identity. I don't know if we'll get revealed now, but maybe someday down the road we'll get a reveal. Oh, Magneto's your parents in Magda. So yeah.
Oh, and then real quick, that I remember I mentioned that rumor that they were saying that Evan Peters was going to play Speed.
Yeah,
you kind of shot that down real quick, and I kind of agree with you that they're aiming for that young Avengers thing.
Yeah,
but it would be kind of cool to see. I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe she's gonna. My theory is she's gonna try to resurrect her brother, and trying to pull him from the multiverse, but she pulls the wrong one, and maybe he shows up like that. If he was a younger actor, I could see them like trying to do that, make him. But I think he's in his 30s at this point. Yeah, they're gonna go for younger because they're setting up young Avengers for sure. Because in the comic, they're gonna set up young Avengers. They're gonna make them like teenagers. I think the last time we'll see them, they'll probably be teenagers, and they'll become reality at some point. I think that's gonna happen. I think we're gonna see them. Yeah, they're setting up young Avengers. You got Casey Stature in Ant-Man, Ant-Man's daughter. She's part of it. Kate Bishop in Hawkeye. What was the other ones they set up? Riri Williams. I don't think she's ever been part of the Young Avengers, but I can see her getting thrown in there too.
What about the kid from Iron Man 3? Is he going to be in there?
I don't know. Yeah, I
We
heard
brought him in for a reason. I mean, I doubt they would bring him back just for that funeral scene.
maybe, or just a good callback to the Iron
Could
Man
be the
movie.
next Iron Man.
No one likes. Yeah, could be. Yeah, yeah. That's a good. That's a
I
good
didn't like
point.
that kid in that movie either. I couldn't
I didn't
stand
care
that.
about. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Iron Man 3. I thought it was kind of a waste of.
Trash.
Yeah.
I think that's the worst Marvel movie yet, in my opinion.
It's up there. It's up there for me, man. I can't stand that fucking movie.
This is top 5 worst Marvel MCU movies.
Top 3, yeah, probably worst. Yeah, I think the second Thor movie is not good. What's the other? I'm not. Guardians 2 disappointed me.
Save it for the other podcast. Do top 5 worst MCU movies. I'm down for that.
I think the Marvel movies are kind of overrated. I think people just kind of give them a pass on a lot of times and just kind of worship at the feet of Marvel movies. I love Marvel. I'm a Marvel guy, even though I'm wearing my Batman shirt. But I think some of them are kind of overrated. I think they kind of they get a pass because it's Marvel and people love Marvel right now. But I think some of them are kind of overrated. But the good ones are really good though. There's some good ones. I think there's definitely some mediocre ones. Like Doctor Strange, I wasn't a big fan of. I thought Doctor Strange.
I like Strange. Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of Doctor Strange. I wasn't a fan of Thor Ragnarok.
I like that one too. But see, you're more rooted in the comics. You got definitely way more. I'm more of a very casual comic guy. But so I could see how that could piss people off that have been loyal fans, and they're gonna see it from a certain point of view. So that makes sense.
Yeah, because like the Thor Ragnarok thing,
Hulk,
the Hulk,
definitely.
Hulk, yeah, because the Planet Hulk storyline in the comic is fucking amazing. It's a gladiator Hulk, badass, sad, tragic story, and they kind of turned into a joke in Thor Ragnarok, which I didn't like. I was like kind of turned off by that. It just made it too joke. Like the visuals in that movie are great, and some of the scenes are great. But
you don't like the that Thor is such a comedian, right? Correct.
I don't. He has humor in the comic. He's very funny. I don't like some of the humor is fine, but I thought it was a little too jokey. Like it was like Ragnarok in the comic is it's a big epic event. I wanted like a Lord of the Rings type, epic movie, but they turned it into like kind of a joke. I don't know. It was kind of too jokey for me.
Yeah. See, I didn't read that storyline, so I mean that's probably why I have a different perspective on the movie.
Yeah. Danny, hail Marvel. Those damn Marvel fanboys.
I mean, Marvel shits on DC. There's no debate about that.
They're definitely
Snyder Cut though. Snyder Cut. I'm down for that shit.
March is gonna be lit, man. March is fucking cold. We got Falcon and Winter Soldier. We got the Snyder Cut. We got Godzilla Kong. We got the Invincible cartoon. Yeah, March is gonna be fucking cold. It's our 1 year COVID anniversary, so they got to throw a bunch of content for us to look into watch.
I think that Snyder Cut is going to be ill. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be nice.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. We'll probably do a review of it after the fact. All right, cool. Fun episode. You said 8. Give it an 8.
I'll give it a solid 8. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would probably go a little higher, a little 8.5 for me. I really enjoyed it. Really, as soon as I watched it, I was like, man, I can't wait to talk about this. So yeah, I can't wait for next week. Yeah, I think this show's it's hitting its stride. I think it's gonna be some fun stuff coming up. So yeah, I can't wait to talk more about it. All right, so Nip, before we get out, you want to talk about the Gold Dirty Bastards?
Yeah, Gold Dirty Bastards is our podcast. We focus mainly on sports, but we delve into politics. We delve into TV shows, some streaming stuff. We do some hip hop occasionally. Right now, the NFL is so hot, we're just sticking with that. And boxing and stuff is the main couple of things we're focused on. But it's a fun show. We just talk a lot of shit to each other. We got some jokes. We have fun. And, we can be serious as well. So check us out if you get a chance. Our YouTube is Gold Dirty Bastards and with the Z. We also have IG where we post a lot of memes and funny stuff on there. Some serious stuff and news as well. But, just definitely check us out. We get the SF Comic Book Company guys on there. Ray and Rick jump on periodically. And Ray actually won our Super Bowl picks. Basically, this guy went 11-2, right?
10-2, I think.
10-2.
Yeah.
Solid. We're
Where's my money, man? Where's
We
my
lost
money?
to a comic. We lost to a fucking comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll get your money. I don't know about Womack's portion, but yeah,
Yeah, go
check us
check.
out.
Yeah, check it out. Fun sports talk. Just shooting the shit with your friends, talking shit about sports. It's a fun show. Go check them out. Yeah, check us out every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. We do our SF Company Hour. We just basically talk about all the news, geek news that comes out, toys, action, toys, comics, movies, TV. Whatever geek stuff we want to talk about. We do some lists on there too. Yeah, go check us out. We talked about the Kong Godzilla versus Kong trailer and some of our favorite giant monster movies last week. Go check that out. That was a fun show. Every Friday, check us out here, WandaVisionaries. Yeah, usually around 11 o'clock, usually. And yeah, we're going to stick with that and probably just keep this after show going for all the Disney Plus shows. It looks like they're going to be coming out fast and furious, so we probably be doing this until we're tired of it. But yeah, check us out.
Are we going live for the
Finale? Yeah, sure. Yeah, that sounds good
keep
to me.
the tradition going.
Yeah, sure. Finale, a late night finale. That was a fun one. The Mandalorian. Yeah, go check. If you watch Mandalorian, and you like this, go check out the Mandalorian after shows too. I'll put the link in the bio over here. Yeah, go check those out. Those were fun. Kind of doing the same shit here, just kind of talking, recapping, and kind of speculating and talking spoilers and stuff. So yeah, go check that out. All right, cool. All right, so check us out and yeah, follow our links and all that stuff on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week, man. Some more WandaVision. All right.
Indeed.
All right. Later, Glow.
Peace out.
Peace.